All right, guys, just bear with me here just a moment here. I do have breaking news, and I'm live here on YouTube right now, but I'm also recording this segment here that will go that way to go on our website. It'll also be to where you can see the graphic side of things here. There are a number of videos that have been appearing already online, all types of videos of Netanyahu and the supposedly, as these are AI generated videos, and I believe that they are AI generated. I do believe that they are AI generated. There's been too many obvious things that are pointed out in the videos there, including that of with the one with Mike Huckabee's face taking really drastic changes. If you're looking at the initial one where he's speaking there, he ends up having six fingers instead of five. And then there is another one from the coffee shop. And then the latest one, they have him sitting there um, with the guys there on his military council, and they're showing the ventilation grates and how they obviously suddenly change. I also notice, though, the two men on either side of him are motionless and expressionless, you might say. So it's like they've edited in video footage that was part true, but then part not true. The big issue here, though, is what really happened to Netanyahu. There's even a video footage now that is coming out that is alleging that this is the actual strike. Al Jazeera channel shared the moment Netanyahu and his dogs were struck, according to what somebody wrote on this. I'm not saying that particularly. It could be that the image is actually accurate, but the breaking side of this, though, that I wanted you guys to be aware of, they're saying that he actually has died from this attack here. But I actually know someone that knows the prime minister personally, has always been involved in some of the latest breaking issues that are happening that go on in Israel, things that are never made public. And I reached out to them to find out, because there's so much speculation going on about him. Is he actually dead? Did something happen to the prime minister? The video that shows here, uh, does seem to be like, of course, it's grainy, not grainy, but it's pixels are kind of funny in the video there, but you can't really identify that it's Netanyahu, but it seems obvious that it probably is. And what I was told yesterday was that the prime minister is actually in critical condition. He is in a coma. He was in the bombing attack that Iran did, and but he is not dead from the attack. He is in critical condition, and he is in a coma. And that kind of goes back to another source that I had that simply wrote very simple that I don't think he will need to need amnesty much longer. So it seems that also the Iranians believe that he was not dead as of yet, and that that he did survive, but in a condition to where they do not think he can recover from his injuries. So at this point here, from my end, and I know this source pretty well, I already and feel that it is a very reliable information that Prime Minister Netanyahu is in a coma. And this is one reason why I think that there's not been any announcement about his death at this stage here. Perhaps had he died in the explosion, and from what I'm understanding, Al Jazeera is the one that released this footage that you're watching on your screen for those of you that are watching that there. Some are saying that he was killed, but as of yesterday, I didn't get the message until this morning, but as of yesterday, he is actually in a coma. Now, could he have passed away since then? That's very likely. I can't say that it's not the case. but we do know that these things did happen. Now they're trying to convey to their enemy, Iran, that everything's still good and that Netanyahu is completely in control. I need to find out and see if I can get the information also regarding Ben Gvir. I know that there is conflicting reports. Was Ben Gvir killed in in an actual attack, or was Ben Gvir actually uh, was he in an automobile accident? And I'd seen this one video clip there from a dash cam that caught his vehicle being hit, struck, and flipped over. But you can't really identify Ben Gvir if that really is him. So there is a possibility that Ben Gvir could have also been killed or at least injured, not just from the car, but from other sources as well. Now, very common for when these types of events take place, that there is silence on the different sides. And Iran has not been silent when their people are killed or injured. Like in the case of Ali Khomeini, they came forth with that. Also, those of you that are live that are following now and those that are not aware of this, Moya Toba Khomeini, he was in the attack that his father was in, and he was severely injured as well. His I don't remember if they told me it was a left or right leg. One of his legs were badly injured, all the way up to the groin area was severely injured, and there was some injuries to his face as well. He did survive the attack, but his wife and his daughter died in that attack. I'm sorry, not daughter, but son. Let me get that right there. I apologize for that. But they were killed in the blast. The president was there, but he was not. In fact, he escaped with very moderate injuries in that attack. But his father, two high ranking military officials from two different branches of the military, were also killed in that blast. They thought that they were safe in the bunker because they figured that if they were going to strike, they would not do it so close to that time before going to deeper underground bunkers, but they ended up, that was a fatal mistake they made there. He has been transferred to Moscow, and I'll go ahead and report it now. I did not report it at the time, but undergoing emergency surgery that he had need of there. And so that's where he was taken to as well. Now, the president of Iran allegedly was going to Moscow to meet with President Putin. I have not been able to confirm as of yet if that trip has actually manifested. And I did ask the individual that I know, did he think that he would not return to Iran? And he said that is a very real possibility. And he did say to me, though, this is the Iranian source that I have, that Iran could actually turn this war if they can maintain their people and maintain the sense of governance, even though that the United States and Israel has been targeting everyone there, that they could actually overcome and change the tide of the war itself. And as we see the destruction that they are doing to Israel, which Israel does not allow those images to come out. They don't allow for people to see. They've got, you can end up in prison in Israel for even daring to show images and stuff like that inside of Tel Aviv. Now, Tel Aviv, of course, is not the same as, say, Gaza by no means, but I'm sure from some of the images that I've actually been seeing that the damage that is being done to Tel Aviv, though, is very significant, and that is being kept under wraps there. There's just a lot of death and carnage on both sides there. In fact, yesterday, and I encourage you, those that are watching live right now as well, we loaded it up just earlier last night, a film with three of the USS Liberty survivors. It was Phil Turney, who's a good friend of mine now. We've been knowing each other, doing interviews now for a couple of years. And also we had Larry Bowen and Mo Schaefer on last night. And one thing that I heard also before the interview is that we have had more casualties in in the Middle East and what people are aware of on our U.S. soldiers. So that's another thing that is not being made public as of yet, and I'm sure that's to be able to keep what little support they have for this war to keep it going. But I feel like that it's only going to get worse, and and then who knows what's going to happen. I did report the other day too that Turkey and Qatar are working feverishly to try to get a ceasefire, bring the war to an end. I would imagine with Netanyahu and his condition, they may have a greater success in trying to get the president of the United States to do that. And maybe Donald Trump, as I'd showed a video a little bit earlier there of him coming out, that people are talking about how he was certainly moved by something taking place there. So I can only imagine that perhaps maybe Donald Trump will end up doing a ceasefire. And of course, the United States will, just as Israel would, that we've won. We won this war. They're not going to concede that Iran has successfully retaliated to a point that has brought America to a point of ceasefire. And I would imagine, maybe to save face, they'll try to say that it was actually the United States, or excuse me, Iran that wanted a ceasefire. And for those of you that are joining us live here right now, I'm running you live while I'm running also this being recorded. Just so you're aware, again, those that are just now joining in right now, because I see quite a few people are joining on. Prime Minister Netanyahu, according to a good friend of mine that knows him personally, very much in the knowledge of things that are going on, has actually stated to me that he's not dead as of last night. He's not dead. He is in a coma. He was in the bombing that Iran claimed that they carried out. He was severely injured in that bombing, and badly enough that he is now in a coma. That was as of yesterday, and they always get the updates of what is going on minute by minute, and so that, just so you know, that he is in a coma. He is not physically dead at this point, unless something has changed since last night. So it's a very serious situation, and I know the war does need to come to an end. Even it needs to come to an end there. The attack against Gaza needs to come to an end. This genocide that has taken place in Gaza has got to be stopped. And of course the Israeli people that are under the bombardment as of right now, that needs to come to an end as well. And definitely the attack that was done unprovoked on Iran when Iran was in negotiations in good faith. They were trying to do negotiations to keep from having this war happen. And then, as we find out, actually, it was from the foreign minister of Iran that Israel attacked. That kind of goes along with what Marco Rubio had said. And I am definitely not for the Trump administration. I do want to make that clear. I think that they have become a puppet for Israel to do every bidding that they want done. But according to the foreign minister of Iran, and by the way, what you're looking at on your screen, those of you that are watching right now, cluster munitions explosions in the vicinity of Ben Gurion Airport. A lot of planes out on the runway is what it is, and that's what they were actually striking, are the larger planes. They're really hitting the economic side of this. They weren't targeting civilians, but the actual planes themselves. But going back to what I was saying, though, is that uh, I kind of lost my thought on what I was saying. So anyway, um, but also too, the other people that was claimed to be in there, I think it was the Mossad chief was in that meeting with Netanyahu. I wasn't told what his condition was, but these are things that I have heard thus far. If he ends up passing away, I will certainly let you guys know. Uh, we have an image on the screen now, more uh, family members mourning the loss of their loved ones that are coming back in. I know Marjorie Taylor Greene had posted a very sad situation where a pilot of one of the fueling tankers, a major, and I do not recall his name, my apology, but our condolences to his family. and all the families that are losing loved ones there. And what for? What is this all about? I mean, it's really sickening if you think about it, because um, Netanyahu has been saying for more than 20 years that Iran is only a week or a month away from having a nuclear bomb. You know, from all the intel that I have on this, Iran has had a nuclear bomb for a long time. They have not used it. And as you see, they continue to add larger and larger capabilities. Israel's bunkers are not holding up. Netanyahu meeting in a bunker that is supposed to be secure, and it can't hold up to Iranian bombs. But Iran is under granite. And, back in 2020, when Trump was looking to go to war then, that was the one thing that was said to me by a friend of mine out of Iran. Um, Look, let's face it, you're not going to penetrate those bunkers. And if you're not able to do it within 48 hours, their plan has been laid out to the detail. Each day of a conflict that goes on, what is targeted next, who does what, when, why, where, and how, what their allies do. And undoubtedly, that information got back to someone's ears, because if you notice, what did Israel do? They targeted Yemen. They targeted Hezbollah, along with the United States with Yemen, taking out Yemen. They took out Hezbollah. They took out Syria. Before they ever went after Iran, they knew to target all those places where Iran had given technology and missiles and things like that to, because they were afraid of what Iran and their proxies would do. Because that was what I was told. Everyone has orders. Yemen has orders. Hezbollah has orders. Their fighters in Syria have orders. And they knew what targets to target, when to target it, including hypersonic missiles. And we've already seen that ended up being true. Yemen does have that type of missile. Iran still has a cloaking missile as well, but now that they're using hypersonics, they don't even need to use a cloaking missile. So anyway, these are just the updates that I wanted to share with you. Again, still more and more people are joining right now. So for those of you that are just joining, I don't know how that works on live, if it's in the middle or at the beginning or whatever. Netanyahu is in a coma. He is not dead. He is in a coma. He was in the attack on the compound underground. This is probably why they show you here where President Trump left a meeting very discouraged. We know that the Secretary of Treasury, when he came back to his interview, was very distraught. We know so many people have proven every single one of these AI videos are truly AI. You guys are doing an amazing job uncovering all that information. And, even to this meeting with his war cabinet, totally fake. Everything is proving out to be fake. But this one image here that allegedly Al Jazeera has put out, uh, that actually may be realistic. I will ask about that, though, specifically from people that I know there, to see what their thought is on that, and also try to get back with you about Ben Gvir and his condition as well. But if that be the case, the only one that they have really that is majorly radical in the right-wing Likud government right now would be Smotrich. And we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Anyway, I'm Stephen Benoon. You're watching Israeli News Live. I don't like even saying the name Israeli News Live any longer, mainly because I am not Zionist. We left Zionism. We actually left Zionism 7 years ago, me and my wife. Slowly but surely, it's a little bit of a merger of time. Took some time to come out, but we have been trying to unravel that information ever since then. And my wife has heavily been involved in trying to expose the 7 Noahide laws over on her Substack, substack.com at Yana Satova, Sutoova. I'll put that in the description, both on live and on this feed here in just a little bit. And because I do understand the Hebrew language, I have been writing feverishly to undo the Schofield lies on Substack at Stephen Bennun, Bennun. I'll put that link in there for you as well. I've dealt with everything from Amalek right down to Zechariah, Genesis 12, the curse. Oh, is it true that when you bless Israel, God blesses you? And if you curse Israel, God curses you? Well, It can't be because Moses in Deuteronomy 30 said to Israel, I set before you life and death, a blessing and a curse. Choose life that you may live. Choose the blessing. So Israel themselves could be cursed. The only ones that got blessed were the ones that ultimately on the day of Pentecost chose the life, chose Jesus Christ. Even though they had consented to his death, all 12 tribes were present according to Peter. They chose life. They lived. The rest that chose the curse, Barabbas, the death, ended up perishing in 70 AD. And that whole system was brought to an end, and that new covenant through Jesus Christ was brought to reality. Stephen Benoon, thank you guys for joining. Thank you for being here live. You can be able to see this information. I will be posting it on INL here shortly hereafter. And I don't know how that will work. I think because the imaging maybe being different, maybe I can do that and it won't violate anything with YouTube. Thank you for listening, and God bless you all.